Hello and welcome, I'm Just One Life, and today we're playing Simic Ramp. This archetype in the metagame has a fairly even win rate, and it seeks to win the game by stalling out and ramping up into Ren and 7, but most importantly, Hullbreaker Horror and Cyclone Summoner. Cyclone Summoner is one from a while ago, just a refresher. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, return all permanents to their owner's hands except for giants, wizards, and lands. And Hullbreaker Horror, the Kraken, also puts things back into our opponent's hands. So our goal is to get one of those out, and then start casting Memory Deluge, Fading Hope to put double things back in their hand, and going off with insane token value. So let's see how well this deck performs in a standard event. I don't think it's quite competitive enough to take into Mythic, but let's see how it does in the standard event. Alright, here we go. We're going to try and get to at least 4 wins with this deck, so 500 gold. Pick our Simic Ramp deck. And here we go. So we have 2 Cyclone Summoners here. That's not super good, but we do have a Ramp spell and a Ren and 7, so let's keep it on just the strength of those cards. Start off with the Forest. Probably put this on the blue side so we can Root Coil Creeper on turn 2. Yep. Blue-white. Probably control. Foretold Doomscar, perhaps. So that means I probably shouldn't ramp with the Tangled Florahedron. And I could just play this as a tapped land, and we can divide by 0 whatever they cast. So we don't attack. Because we need the mana. What you got, blue-white? Probably they just pass. They sure do. So if I cast Ren and 7 here, it's getting countered. I think we have to pass. This is also, so it could be a Foretold Doomscar, but it could just be a Foretold Sot coming. They want to divide by 0 my Royal Creeper, Root Coil Creeper. Let's divide their divide. And we'll search for... Teachings is not so great. We'll just get a Sciences. That way we'll have enough land to get maybe a Cyclone Summoner into play, or Ren and 7. Giants, wizards, or land. And they do nothing again. Well, I imagine they have just a ton, an absolute ton of spooky spells and counter spells. Yep, they're going to let us search for a land. They're only going to counter what matters. I think it's time to just start chipping in for 2 damage at a time and see if they want a Fading Hope or Divide by 0. We have a Fading Hope here, but I don't know if they actually have any creatures. We could use it to maybe dodge a Doomscar. Gates. Gain 2 life, draw 2 cards. Alright. So we know about the divide by 0. Let's just get in there. They take it. I'm a little worried about Alrund's Epiphany. But if we don't start casting some spells, we're gonna be in trouble. I can prevent them from learning with Fading Hope. Let's do it. Opponent, you don't get to learn, and I get to bottom this card I don't want. You learn nothing! wonder if I'm playing this matchup properly. This could just be 2 foretold counterspells. Well, let's play the cards that they know about. And then we have enough for a Cyclone Summoner, but that will definitely get countered. We have enough for this and a follow-up Root Coil Creeper. Let's see if they counter this. They don't. Well, I don't want to get this Juari Disruption, so I think I will just pass. Oh, fool. I should have attacked with the Layer of Hydra. Yep. Right back in my hand. Maybe we just start getting in with a Layer. They can't really do anything about that. No, they could Divide by Zero it. No, they can't Divide by Zero it. They can Fading Hope it. It's the 3rd time they've had to cast it and only the 2nd Divide by Zero. Well, we'll put that in as a land. Well, let's see. Does this change the clock? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes it a 5/5. Making a 6/6 does change the clock by 1 if they can't do anything about it. So, let's try making this a 6/6. Can they return it? Fading Hope? Oh, Field of Ruin. Duh. I'm a fool. Just a fool. Alright. Well, fair enough. Did we just encounter a bug here and that our top card is the Quandrix? If we draw Quandrix, that seems a little, messed up. Alright, so they take their extra turn with Alrins, and they hold back a bird for some reason. No, we draw Root Coil Creeper. Well, let's put those birds back in their hand. No, they have these counter spells. If we do this, we can still cast a Root Coil Creeper. Yeah, let's just do it. No counter spell.
They prepare for war.
Okay. I wonder if they're just in the Doomscar game now. Since this looks like a decent place for Doomscar. They don't really care about these birds. Devastating Mastery. Destroy all non-land permanents. Alright. Cool. Well, they still have a bunch of mana up, but Cyclone Summoner? Took them that long to Divide by Zero. Mascot Exhibition. Although, yeah, sciences. That actually makes a little bit more sense because Mascot Exhibition just gets all their tokens bounced by the Summoner if it gets to resolve. They can Flashback Memory Deluge here, and they do. Searching for 2 cards off the top 7. And they have 40 left. So they get to dig down to 33 and then put 5 on the bottom. Probably follow up with nothing to hold up Sought coming. And they foretell something else, which is really telling. So we will attack. And we could just put a Hullbreaker Horror into play. I don't think it really matters which one of these. They're both 7-power creatures. They're both the same cost. And I assume opponent is going to Doomscar. There it is. Now we're left with double Summoner. Another Foretell. They are really foretelling a lot. Ooh, triple Foretell. I imagine some amount of that is Alrund's Epiphany. So, Summoner. Saw it coming. Florahedron as a 1/1. Because that's what we can do. Yup. Take an extra turn. Get in with your little birdos. They sure have cast a lot of spells. Starnheim Unleashed for a bunch of 4/4 angels. Well, 2 mana open, a Foretold card. This really looks like a Saw It Coming. I have 1, 2, 3 mana left over after this. Let's try this and see if they want to counter it. No. Alright. Take action. Give me that island, I suppose. And now... Summoner? If it's a Jawari Disruption, we have the Tangled Florahedron. Oh! All those angels from Starnheim go away. That's kind of okay. That's worth it to get rid of those angels. And we can Quandrix pull another land out of our deck next turn. They can get in with the Hall. They play a Leer. Ugh. I'm not so sure we have any ways of taking care of the Leer. And with the ability to recast all of these spells, yeah, that's enough for us. We've lost. Good game, blue-white control. I don't want to spend the extra 30 minutes it would take for you to win. Well, we lost our first game, but we went up against pretty much our worst matchup. Them and Is It Turns is like really, really bad for us. We can do pretty well against most other decks, so let's try this again. Try and get some wins. This is a great hand. So we can haul and hold up Fading Hope on turn 1. Turn 2 we can Innkeeper. And we need to wait till turn 4 in this opener to Chariot or Cultivator, but if we draw any ramp early, we can get there on turn 3. Because all of our ramp is turn 2 ramp. Ooh, mono green. Yeah, Fading Hope. Sorry. We just need to stall a little longer. Divide by 0. That is a castable card for us. And we get to get Sciences with it. We'll go ahead and do that. Right now, we don't have a good turn 2 play. And I forgot, Innkeeper needs green. We don't have green until turn 3. Pack Leader, sure. Oh, nice. We drew ramp, but 1 turn exactly too late. So we'll hold up this Divide by 0 and find Sciences. Actually, we have so much ramp in our hand that maybe we should pull a Mascot Exhibition. Okay, they're just going to try and get in with their Pack Leader. I'm just going to put that right back in their hand. Okay. Yeah, let's not be crazy. We're just going to grab the Sciences. The Prowler. Cool. So it looks like instants will be cheaper for them. Which the only instant that costs colorless mana for them, if they even have it in their deck, would be Inscription. So I could double Innkeeper using the treasure that I get. Or I could Sciences plus Innkeeper and not burn my treasure. We'll grab a Forest. And we can Innkeeper a Root Coil Creeper. I don't see any need for the Creeper, so we'll just keep her. Opponent's gonna get in for some damage. Nothing we can really do about that. This Faceless Haven is actually messing them up a little bit here. If they wanted to play both of the revealed cards, they can't until they play another land. Mono green decks do have a lot of green pips in them, so Faceless Haven is a small drawback in some situations. Okay, so they can't cast the Pack Leader, just the Pack Leader. Gosh, I hate that. 2 words, 1 word, just doesn't make much sense, does it? Alright, so now their sorceries can cast, or cost 1 less to cast. Which, the only sorcery I know of that Mono Green plays is Blizzard Brawl, and doesn't have any colorless costs. Our graveyard is not important to us. That will not be blocking. We want to keep this Innkeeper to gain some life. Okay. So we could Chariot, but... So whenever another creature enters the battlefield under our control. So I think I just want to Innkeeper and Creeper and land. Or I could Innkeeper and Chariot. Yeah, let's do that. Put this in on green. And then let's Chariot. This will make 2 creatures enter the battlefield, will gain 4 life, and have a Chariot to crew. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, we're done for the turn. Go ahead, opponent. Your mono green? We got some of your cards. We play Chariots. They go for a pack leader. Attack with the Prowler? They did. Huh. I wonder if this means they have the inscription. So, here's what I'm going to do. This. Pass to blockers. And I'm going to put both of these guys in front of them. This way, no matter which instant it is, I still kill the Prowler. Even if he can take out Chariot. If they don't have an instant, they can just take out a cat, and I've sacrificed it for no reason, but I'm kind of hedging my bets. But a Chariot alone block gets blown out by Inscription, and by Snakeskin Veil. This way, we still kill the Prowler. Hell yeah. So now we need to draw some of our bigger stuff. Take action, get an island, Creeper, and we're done for the turn. Alright, we have a hall we can fire up. We have 6 lands, it costs 6, perfect. Well, we have 7 lands, but 6 to pay into it. Another Prowler! A land? Oh, that's a really bad draw when we've been pulling all these lands out of our deck. So we'll put this in on green. Fire up our hall. And get in with just that. Because if we attack with the Quandrix Cultivator, they could just block with their Cemetery Prowler and they just kind of bounce off of each other. Pointless attack. Oh, they block with everything. So we can deal 7 damage, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could kill both of these 2 creatures if we put the pack leader at the back. Let's do that. Leave just their little wimpy guy alive. Do they have a Snakeskin Veil? Keep their Prowler alive. They sure do. Okay. The Prowler stays up. I would rather have this pack leader dead, though, because I really don't want them drawing cards. We need to start drawing some cards, but we really can't afford for our mono green to do that. They already have 3 cards in their hand, and we're just out of gas. Ooh, replacement pack leader. And a ranger class, which they can start leveling up. Wow, they just dumped their hand. Well, no secrets here. Divide by 0 is pretty good. So, let's pass to their turn. We'll divide by 0 on their turn, find a mascot exhibition, and cast that on our turn. Sure. Perfect. Now that they've pumped all this mana into it, bye-bye Ranger class, and hello mascot exhibition. Okay. Time to get a bunch of creatures. Man, we gained a lot of life. Unfortunately, we can't really attack into them. We could sack our treasure, but I don't think that's good. We might actually need this treasure because we do have some 7 mana spells in our deck. I was thinking if there was any 8, but I think there's only 7 as our max. No, it might be 8 actually. I don't remember. However much Hullbreaker Horror costs, that's our top end. Ugh, come on. Can you stop making me draw these lands, please? Well, we'll just show them that, you know, that's what's up. Move to combat. Get in the air. So now they can level Ranger class up to 4 and try and start pulling creatures off the top of their deck, which I really don't like them having the ability to do. Maybe instead of Mascot Exhibition, I should have grabbed... No, yeah, Containment Breach to get rid of their Ranger class. And they really want to draw that card. Makes sense. But they have to sacrifice a bunch of creatures to do it, which might be a actually worse play. Ooh, since they moved to attackers now, they can't power up the pack leader, which I think they wanted to do. So if they powered up pack leader, an attack with just that and a token would get their card draw. They can do it post attack declared, so it'll have 3 toughness. There's no secrets here. Yeah, they don't want to attack. Alright, let's just cleave it and draw 3 cards. I mean, we could just pay 3 since our hand size doesn't really seem to matter too much here. Alrund's Epiphany. Can we even cast that this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can cast Alrund's Epiphany. Should we just start, like, trying to get in there? I don't really think that's right. Alright, we're just gonna cast Alrund's Epiphany. Oh. Right, it's 6 unless we foretell it. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's just me getting impatient anyway. I really should just take this... Well, the long game's not too favorable for us either, really. Alright, opponent has 8 mana. Ooh. Ulvenwald Oddity. They have the 7 mana to transform it, but not this turn. Yeah, that's getting pretty bad. Huh. This attack could be really good for us. This might be a surprise game-ending attack in our favor. The opponent doesn't have any green mana open because the tapper kind of screwed them. So we know that the card in their hand is not an instant. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We take 14 damage and go to 20. And then they have very little open to defend. We Alrund's Epiphany. Get in there all twice. I think we should just go. I'm not going to even count how much damage we have. I'm just going to try and win. My turn. Land. We can do this plus Innkeeper. I guess I should have played it first to get life from the birds. Opponent says good game, but I don't really know that it is good game. But we're gonna try. We're certainly gonna try. Yeah, opponent, make whatever blocks you feel like you want to. Who is doing the blocking of those guys? This 4/4? He's gonna kill the pack leader, of course. Oh yeah, this is way lethal. Yeah, good game. Whoa, we pulled it out thanks to Alrund's Epiphany. And all-out crazy attack by our opponent. We couldn't have won that, I think, if our opponent didn't swing out and had 4 extra big blockers. Thanks, opponent. Alright, so we are 1-1, and this is a keeper. Against Protege Mono? I think that's what they were going for. Mono White. We face Mono White. Innkeeper, Divide by Zero, Root Coil Creeper. Oh, maybe it's not Mono White. Maybe it's some kind of party deck? I know they play this guy, who's a really good warrior. Or gal, whatever. Alright. This keeps us alive longer. The creeper does ramp us, but we don't really have a 4 CMC spell that we really need to get out, like a chariot. So, I think Innkeeper is fine. And even if we did, we have this treasure. They're blue-white. Some kind of blue-white aggro deck. Really interesting. Oh, okay. I will not block. Pretty worried about whether we can stay alive and weather this storm. I hope that they flashback. Oh, this isn't the flashback one. This is the learn one. Oh, wow. Let's just put one of these back in their hand. They could have to choose between boasting and casting it again. Okay, they just let it go back to their hand. We have 2 lands in our hand. We don't really need that. Artifact and enchantment. These aren't enchantment creatures or anything. Now, what we need is stall, and pest summoning is decent stall. And we do not block. Go to 9. So we can creeper plus pest summoning. Yep, they recast their Usher. Makes sense. Alright. 2 blue is okay? Yes, it is. So here's the creeper. And here's the pest summoning. We have to use up our treasure, but worth. +1/+1. So are they going to exile maybe our Innkeeper? Sure. I'll make a 3/2 in response. Or not in response, but in return. They have another spell here. They do not. Okay. Block, block, block. And we take 3. And gain 2, so we only go down to 11. Okay, we're staying alive. We have a divide by 0. Oof. We really want to just get this out really badly, right? We're only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're only one land away from this. So if Divide by Zero can keep us alive for just one turn. Instant or sorceries only. Ooh. That's really bad. We can resolve these two triggers. Equal to the number of creatures you control. Yikes. I want this to be alive. Oh, man. Alright, we divide their Light Scribe. So we can't target their token. They must have an instant to cast here. Counter unless we pay 1. Plus an additional 1 for each creature in your party, which is 2, which is a total of 3. We do have 3 to pay. And this creature's going away anyway. I don't know if Mascot Exhibition does it anymore, since we're down to just 5. And 5... man, I think this really interesting blue-white aggro deck might... Oh, they end it right now. Wow, that's cool. What an interesting take on white aggro. I love the Quandrix Cultivators. It's such a large body with a land attached to it. We have the option of Fading Hope here. And we're gonna do it. Scry. Florahedron. Let's throw that away. Layer, it's good timing. Any later and it would be bad timing. I could have played the Florahedron. It's about the same, I feel like. We're gonna spend the treasure to get our cultivator out. And we'll be searching for a, I guess a forest. We're clearly against mono-white aggro. But we've got a really good start this time. Skyclave. Gets rid of our Quandrix Cultivator. But if we can get rid of the Skyclave, we get a 4/4. Which goes a long way to blocking. Could actually just end up upgrading the power and toughness of our creature from 3/3 to 4/4. We can't block that. No way. Alright. Call. Second Cultivator. This time for... Well, we have Island in our hands, so let's look for another forest. We're trying as hard as we can to stay alive against mono white. But we're running out of cards, and they have tons left. We need to draw a big card here, like Coma. Or the Giant. The Giant would be incredible. Yup. That works. Make your creatures huge. Here's where I consider chumping, and then don't do it. Another Innkeeper. Okay, well... time to get this into play. Plus this as a creature. Gain some life. Have a chump blocker in the form of the Florahedron. And we gotta draw a big spell. Come on, 7 mana spells. Flurry of Blows. Which is an actual ability in D&D. Okay. Yeah, making their creatures pretty huge. Alright, so... Well, we could throw both here. Kill it. Take 6. Yikes. Or 3, 4, 5, 6. Throw everything in front of Luminarch. God, that seems terrible. We'll play these two here. Take 6. Now we can activate a hall. Oh, we got it. Boys, we got him. Alright, Cyclone Summoner. Everything, go back to the hands. I get an extra 4/4. Alright. I mean, that works, right? Now's where I go nice. Because I'm pretty sure that just won us the game. Skyclave gets nothing. You can't take my 7 CMC permanent, and you can't take my token. They spent their whole turn on that. Oh, they have to discard? Yikes. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a scoop from them. Now we start next turn getting in with Hall. Unless we draw like a Coma or another Cyclone Summoner. Alright, that's it. We're spent. We got nothing in hand. Go for it, opponent. The only thing that kills Cyclone Summoner and Mono White, if they even play, it's Kabira Takedown. Yeah, that's it. Game over. Mono White is down! We drew our spell right when we needed it. Oh boy. Yikes, this is a pretty late game hand. We can't divide by 0 and learn. Oh, it's risky. That's risky keep. I could get punished so hard. White, Luminarch, is clerics, is white-black clerics. Alright, Innkeeper. We did draw a land, so we can just divide by 0 next turn without sacking our treasure. It is life gain. But it's not white-black, it's white-green. This is such a cool card. Hullbreaker. Neat. Problem is we have to get to that point. So this can come in on green. We can Memory Deluge, but I feel like we have to divide by 0? Well, whichever one we do, we get to pick on their turn. And it actually might make more sense to wait and bounce this Trelasara after it's grown more. Problem is, sacking this treasure means I'm a full turn further away from Alrund's Epiphany. Yeah, I'm just going to divide it right now. They don't have the 2 mana to replay it. I'm going to get my Sciences. Perfect. So now I can Sciences for a forest. Get that into play and cast my Root Coil Creeper. Gain a life. So they can replay this back as a 3/3 and scry. The scry on top of it is just like insane. They're not getting it into play. I feel like that's a mistake. Since that's the powerhouse in their deck. No blocks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're up to 7 mana. It's Hullbreaker horror time, guys. Alright, and of course, we do it on the Declare Attackers step. And that's one of the first things we'll be putting back in their hand. So this will use up our treasure, so we need to draw a land in order to Alrund's Epiphany. But no matter what, we can Memory Deluge and put something back in their hand. Alright, here's a 7/8. Can you do 4 more damage to it? No, they can't. Okay. So we can't Alrund's Epiphany. But we can foretell it, and we can Memory Deluge. So that's what we're going to have to do. This is going to bounce Ranger class to their hand since they put 8 mana into it. And into our hand, we're going to put land and Cyclone Summoner. Play the land, so next turn we can start Alrund's Epiphanying even the 7-cost one. That one is going to get big, but I can just start bouncing it. I think this is all wrapped up, guys. I think this is game over. I imagine they cast Ranger class again. They get to grow Trelasara a bunch. Yeah, both of these permanents are going to their hands. Voice is only a 4/4? Okay, that makes more sense. 5/5. Ooh, it's gonna grow a bunch more. I mean, this is great and all, but they're going away. I mean, they get to dig through their deck like crazy, though. Final verdict. Oh! Divide by 0 is kind of perfect here. So we could just pass to them and divide by 0 at the end of their turn. It's tempting. It's really tempting. Because that will let us bounce 2 of their permanents. Now, let's just... They're at 34. Yeah, let's do that. It feels like the better play to me. Now, do they just come straight to combat? Or do they pump all their mana into Ranger class? 2 makes sense. 4 more? I would love to see 4 more pumped into Ranger class. No. Yeah, so of course, now is where we divide by 0. And we'll be returning Voice of the Blessed and Trelasara. And into our hand... I kind of just want a cheap spell so we can bounce one of the creatures that they play. We don't need a big spell because we have plenty of big spells. We have 2 Alrund's Epiphanies and a Memory Deluge to cast. So they don't have enough white mana to cast Voice of the Blessed again. Clarion Spirit. Yeah, so we bounce Trelasara with our Alrund's Epiphany, and we can start getting in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can't kill our Hullbreaker Horror. Alright. Game over. Return Trelasara. I'm just going to tell them good game so that they, like, maybe get the idea. They might not get the idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, can't kill it. We know their hand exactly. Everything's on the table. Alrund's Epiphany, full cost. Return another one of your cards. Attack, not with that. More? Alright. Environmental Sciences. Return that. More? Alright. Divide by 0. Put that back in your hand. Also, put that in your hand. Now I suppose I grab Containment Breach. Still not done? Alright, Prosperous Innkeeper. Now I'll put that back in your hand. You need more? Alright, Ruko Creeper. Put that back in your hand. Opponent! Just scoop him up, it's over! Ah, yes, Brutal Cathar. You can take our Hullbreaker Horror for, like, a moment. You have enough mana for a Trellisara. Ooh, she's a 3/3. Spooky. Okay, Trellisara's a 4/4. So, we can Memory Deluge. We're gonna put, like, all this stuff back into our hand. Problem is, we also put Brutal Cathar back in their hand, and then they just take... Well, they only take Cyclone Summoner. Okay. Here's our plan. We attack with the birds. Put Cyclone Summoner into play. Everything goes back. Now Hullbreaker Horror enters, and we have just insaneness. They can take either one, it doesn't matter. Yep. You get a bunch of stuff. They didn't play Trellisara early enough. So Trellisara is only going to be a 5/5, which isn't enough. If we draw an untapped land, we can Cyclone Summoner plus something. There's that. Cyclone Summoner. Honestly, none of these matter too much. Let's put this one back into our hand. Because then we can cast it plus another spell and then put one of their cards back in their hand. This is silly. This is so silly. Alright, take one of our Cyclone Summoners. Ooh, both of them. Cool. This is so stupid. This is like an endless loop. Alright, Hullbreaker Horror. And Prosperous Innkeeper. Return a Brutal Cathar, which returns our Cyclone Summoner. Oh, but I didn't cast it from my hand. Okay. That changes things quite a bit. Do I put the Hullbreaker Horror back in my hand so they can't grab it? I think I do. Huh. This is an interesting quandary. We have enough mana for Hullbreaker plus Root Coil Creeper. We can put Trellisara back in their hand, or we can put Voice of the Blessed back in their hand. Brutal Cathar is taking Cyclone Summoner. I want to cast this Memory Deluge, but we just don't have a turn to do it. But if we Hullbreaker, Creeper, bounce Trellisara, we'll have a turn to do it. Because they decided not to play Voice of the Blessed. Which kind of works out for me. They've deployed their hand again. Alright, Hullbreaker. And actually we can Quandrix. Put Trellisara back in your hand. Now you get to go search for a basic land. This is so silly. Oh, Fateful Absence. Okay, yeah. Good one. So suddenly we need to cast this Memory Deluge. There are more Hullbreaker Horrors in our deck. This is such a wacky game. And a Ranger class, which makes a wolf. Yep. They can spend their treasure to level up Ranger class. Alright, 11-11 and 8-8. And they get to scry through the deck like freaking crazy. Alright. Memory Deluge takes up this much. Have enough for a Containment Breach. Boom. Should we cast it now? We have 3 mana to work with. Sure. We grab another Memory Deluge. And I suppose a Chariot? Doesn't really do much, does it? Alright. We grab those. We can't Deluge again? Oh, because it's a clue. We'll draw from a clue later. No attacks. We're going to take a huge hit from Voice of the Blessed. Oh my gosh! Absolutely huge hit from Voice of the Blessed. Yeah, +3/+3 for the whole team. Alright, 12 damage from Voice. 13. 14. I thought this was game over a long time ago, but no. They're pulling it out. Attacking with the Brutal Cathar. So, jump. And we put enough there to kill it. Leaves us taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Plus 5 is 18. Plus 14. We can't survive this hit. We'll just take this one. Right on the chin. Right here. Come at me, opponent. So we get our 7/7 back. Gain some life. There's a Fading Hope, that's fun. Let's Memory Deluge, since we still have enough mana afterwards to do a bunch of stuff. Well, that's not so great. Innkeeper and Hall. Drop the Hall into play. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 1. So we can Deluge plus Fading Hope. And we have this extra 1 mana, but we need it as a blocker. So we'll pass and surprise them with a Fading Hope. See if that can keep us alive for a turn. I think we need to Fading Hope the Voice of the Blessed, but we might actually have to Fading Hope their team-wide Pumper, who is so far off the screen. Intrepid Adversary. Alright, opponent. Oh, such a reserved attack. This actually lets me survive. I might not have been able to survive otherwise, but now I'll pass to blockers. I'll throw a blocker in front of them. Block. Fading Hope your Voice. Inspired Idea. We're going to be searching with Memory Deluge, so it's putting down the bottom, since we don't want to get that with that card, just gets us 1 card deeper. And there's Voice again. Oh, nice that that comes in first. I'm a little skeptical as to whether we can survive this. It's a solid maybe. Yeah, I'll resolve all that. Everything gets absolutely massive. Gosh, could you imagine casting a Blood on the Snow against this board? Or a Doomscar or anything like that? Alright, Memory Deluge time. Hullbreaker. And I want to get Alrund's Epiphany, but 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can do both. Alright. Layer. Horror. Alrund's Epiphany. Return. I don't want to put Brutal Cathar back in their hand. Well, bounce Voice of the Blessed. Gain a bunch of life. Can't attack. Next turn. Oh, Fading Hope is a great draw here. Fading Hope. Put Intrepid Adversary back in your hand. And Voice of the Blessed. Bottom. Let's try drawing a card. A Fading Hope. Put that back in your hand. And a token back in your hand. Yes, we can take that. Prosperous Innkeeper. Put a token back in your hand. Asika's Chariot. Put another token back in your hand. attack with those guys. This game is so ridiculous. They just take it all right on the chin. We have enough blockers to survive, even if they put in a huge intrepid adversary. Which they aren't going to be doing. They can cast one voice or intrepid adversary pumped once. Which do they want to do? One voice. Alright, we're going to draw a Root Coil Creeper. We can put one thing back in their hand, and it's Trellisara. Goodbye, Trellisara. And then we can get in with a haul. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get it with a 5/5 layer. Oh no, we have to cast spend one of it, right? So 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the cost. Auto pay? No, 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 no. Tap that, here, here, and here. And we can use the layer. No, no, no. Here. And what, a bird? Yeah. Attack with all and make a copy of this cat. Alright, opponent. Math is for blockers. Do what you gotta do. They're gonna kill my Hullbreaker Horror. Fair enough. It is absolutely terrifying. But it's gonna kill their voice. That's it, they just take the rest. Alright, this is 2 life gain decks going at it. So they cast Adversary, pump their entire team by 3. That doesn't do it. So Trellisara plus Voice plus Unknown card. This last game here, this is taking forever. I would love if they just cast an adversary here, no pump. But there's no way that's happening. Borrowed Time. Exile target non-land permanent. Wow. Okay. Goodbye, Cyclone Summoner? Yeah. Sure enough. They don't attack, and we draw a land. Oof. I think that's it. I think that's game over. Yep. All right. Opponent, with your insane deck, you've outgrinded us. Good job. Game over. Finally. Oh my god, that drug on. Well, that puts us at 3 losses, but each of those games was surprising, especially that last one. Oh my god, that game was crazy. I probably made a bunch of mistakes, but the game was so long, there were so many choices. Well, we got 3 of our 500 gold back and 3 uncommons. Here's what we got. Alright, cool. Wow, those games were crazy. I mean, that last one especially. I'm surprised if you're still hanging around after that game. It took so long. If you did make it here, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think that Hullbreaker Horror definitely performed, but Cyclone Summoner seemed a little bit underwhelming. It was good in some spots, but I think I would have just rather have had more Hullbreaker Horrors in this deck. So I'm not really sure. Maybe it needs a few tweaks. We did get to showcase Inspired Idea, this new card from Crimson Vow. It was really good in this deck. But overall, yeah, I think this deck has some spots where it is left wanting, and it just doesn't match up quite well in today's metagame. It doesn't survive quite well enough against mono white most of the time. We did actually do once today, but it doesn't survive well enough to get into the late game against them. It doesn't really have enough card draw, because the only real card draw in here is Memory Deluge and this one copy of Inspired Idea. So, yeah, I think some tweaks would be in order. Use Alrund's Epiphany. I mean, Alrund's Epiphany is a busted, messed up magic card, but it doesn't feel right in this deck, you know? So, I don't know. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Fist bump, high five. Take it easy.